You all ready for this?
I hope.
We never can be really sure, can we? All the way. Welcome, everyone, to, well, technically this would be a guitar stuff with John, but these things are a bit more special than that. Occasionally, twice a year, I get to have a visit from a close friend of mine, and this is one of those times. I was thinking about this morning. The channel has done very, very well, and one of the reasons it's done so well is because of this man right here. And you all have seen my reviews of his guitars, and you've seen my reviews of all the other instruments that I endorse and tell people to go buy. And there's really nothing in the world like Boucher guitars. And I think this man's the best builder that's alive right now. And there's a good reason for that. We're going to show you some of the reasons on this episode. He's brought some stuff with him that's a bit different. We've alluded to this a bit on the channel, but you're going to see 3 instruments today that will boggle your mind, and built by my friend Robin Boucher. Maestro? Man.
JP?
I can't believe you're back. This is it's incredible. I was excited.
Be sure that the pleasure is mine, JP.
I was excited.
Yeah.
I got to ask you one question, because I talked about this in an episode of Guitar Stuff with John. Actually, I've talked about it more than once. But you are never happy with where you're sitting. You are always trying to go further and further with the recipe. And how do you do that? Continually just want to... Where do you find all the inspiration to continue to improve everything you do? You're just building better and better and better guitars to the point where guys like me who know your work I can't understand how you keep getting better. It just keeps getting better. Where do you find all that power from?
Well, I would say, JP, that it comes from my passion for the music itself. I want to make guitars in order to make better music.
Right.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm so well surrounded by my team.
Yeah.
By, Julien, Pierre, all those guys, James now.
Yeah.
And of course Guillaume.
Yeah.
He's here today. And I think it's a teamwork. It's a team force.
Yes.
Yeah. And yeah, you said exactly the right thing. I'm never happy.
No.
I'm happy, but
you're
I'm never happy.
Never
you see
happy.
what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah. So I always want to see my guitars better and better.
It blows people's minds. Like this, 10 years ago when you were first getting started and stuff, I mean, you built great guitars then. But over the years, it's just become, when you see a new Boucher, that it's going to be the best guitar you've seen. You pick it up and just go, God, like it's everything that I want as a player in a guitar. And you explained that perfectly just now. It's because you're a player. And you're a great guitar player.
Well,
and you are. You're just modest. You're a great guitar player, and you know what guitar players want in an instrument, because whatever makes it easier for you to play what you play.
Yeah.
Some of which is very difficult.
Yeah. Yeah. I want my team building guitars like I want to play.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes a huge difference. I mean, everybody knows that I endorse a ton of builders. Well, I shouldn't say a ton. There's not that many. There's 6 or 8, that I own, that I tour with, right? But the biggest part of my collection is your guitars, and there's a reason for that, right? And one of the things that kind of strikes me about, and I shouldn't even say this because it's so obvious, like the companies that we expect to build great guitars are building so many guitars that they don't have a chance to do what you do. They're not building they're building because of money and flooding the market and having the controlling share of the market, and guitar players get lost in that shuffle somehow. We all love our Martins and our Gibsons and our Taylors, but there's something that's not from the heart in those things, right? And that's why builders like you and
And many others.
yeah,
Yeah.
Crackett and David Fleming and Gallagher, and they're all still, I say still building, because there is still builders that build for the reasons that you do. They build because they love guitar and they love players, and they play themselves, and they want an instrument that inspires themselves.
And beloved by the guitarist who
Right.
bought
Exactly.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so one of the the last guitars I bought of yours, which I have named Lancelot, is the mate to Merlin. Is Merlin still here? Okay, we put her away. But you guys have seen Merlin, and it's one of the most astounding instruments that I've ever seen. And then when Lancelot came through to be reviewed and sent to Citadel, it never left here. I bought it as well. Because, and I said in the review, I said I can't understand how a guy that's that talented as a builder can possibly lap himself. You went around the racetrack and hit your own self in the arse. Like, it's unbelievable. And it's happened very quickly. So I want you to tell everybody a little bit about the new recipe and the new molds and why you made the changes. And because your recipe was awesome before, and now it's become something even greater. So tell us how and why you made the decisions to change the recipe, the molds, an actual, I find a rather sudden switch to the love, of maple. I've loved maple I love maple guitars. Yeah, and
me too.
You have taken it to another level altogether. We all expect maple to be thin, brittle, with a pretty good bass, but brittle, right?
No mids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So tell us a bit about the magic. Like, how did you come to decide all of these things?
Well, our previous molds were dating from 2005. Okay?
That's 18
so
years.
it's almost 20 years
Almost
ago.
20 years, yeah.
And they were made in the old school way.
Yes.
And we knew, the whole team knew that if we can change those molds by a better recipe, better recipe, we expected that the sound quality of our guitars could be improved.
Yes.
A little.
Yes.
But a little is always huge for me.
Huge. Yeah.
Step by step, one by one.
Yeah.
I want and we want to create better guitar, better sounding guitars, better playability, all that stuff.
And these are aluminum heated molds, right?
Yeah. Now
That's the big thing.
Yeah.
So let me see if I got this right.
Yeah.
So I don't know anything about building guitars. I do. I have enough knowledge to know when something's built right.
You have a lot of knowledge.
But so so the people understand how important this is. In a standard guitar mold, it's basically just physics that causes the wood is bent and the mold holds it there for long enough to get it bent generally into the shape.
Yeah.
But when you pull it out, the wood is still naturally wanting to go back straight.
Exactly.
But the new thing that you're doing, these new heated aluminum molds change the wood to where it doesn't want to go straight as bad
Well,
as a
as
trad
bad.
mold,
Yeah,
right?
as bad.
And
Yeah.
that's what causes the tops and backs to be so free, because there's not as much pressure on the sides, right?
Yeah.
That's sort of the idea.
You are almost. You're
Almost,
right.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, by improving the accuracy and the efficiency of the side bender, the bending mold.
Yep.
It allows us to bend the shape of the sides way better.
Yes.
Without any distortion
Yep.
of the wood
Yep.
itself.
Yep.
Okay, and because of that, the sides are so parallel each together.
Yeah.
They are not like this, and I'm not talking about with the old molds. Sometimes the sides would be like that, just a little bit,
Right.
maybe 5,000, 10,000 of an inch.
Yep.
Okay,
Makes
but
a
now they
difference.
are so straight, so parallel.
Yep.
So by sitting the top and the back, by sitting on the sides perfectly, parallel like
The
that,
math becomes perfect.
the vibration
Yeah.
is so easy to get.
Yeah. It's
The
amazing.
the top is floppier.
Yeah, yeah.
The edges of the top and the back
Yeah.
are
They're
floppier.
they're loose
Yeah.
because they're not holding
they
the
are-
sides in.
Yeah.
They're just sitting on top of the sides.
And then they are so responsive.
Exactly.
And the tone
Yeah.
is created by vibration
Yep.
and response.
The marriage of the top and sides and the back and sides. Right?
Yeah.
So when
And I forgot the projection
Yeah.
capacities.
the top and back aren't holding the guitar together anymore, basically. In the old way, in the normal way of building guitar, it is.
Yeah.
The sides are gripping, the top is holding everything together. The sides are wanting to pop at a certain point, but now they're not. They're doing that way less.
Yeah.
It amazes me because I know from knowing other builders throughout my life that I know all kinds of builders that would tell me I had this beautiful set of X tone wood, but I bent the sides and broke them, right?
Yeah.
Because there's not a really good way to. It's the only one way to do it. The way that Martin and Gibson started, it's a very difficult, time-consuming, delicate process because you're bending really rigid wood like maple, rosewood, cocobolo that's brittle. It's just like glass, Especially maple is so
Maple.
difficult.
Yeah. Flamed
right?
maple.
Yeah, it's just like rock. It's like
worst.
stone, right?
Yeah.
So this is amazing, and especially that you chose maple for all these guitars.
Torrified maple.
Torrified maple. It's mind-boggling.
Well,
right?
but,
That's never really been done before that I'm aware of, that anybody has ever built guitars out of torrified maple. Because why would you torrify maple? Because we know what it sounds like, but your process makes it sound like something else altogether,
yeah.
right? And that's what I want. I want people to. These guitars aren't just the greatest guitars I've ever seen. They have properties that you can't find in any other guitar because no other guitar is built this way. There's just nothing around that you see this kind of it's bravery, right? It's bravery to think, okay, I'm going to use maple. I'm going to torify it.
Yeah.
I'm going
And try to bend the
and
sides.
bend it, and the guitars.
There's no water inside the sides.
No.
You see what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
No water
it's
at
way
all.
brittler than it would have
Yeah.
been.
Yeah.
Right? So that in itself is really impressive. Like that you chose. Not only did you change the recipe by however many increments you did, but you chose to do it in a very difficult direction, and you used science.
Yeah.
And to do that, and you've been doing that all along. People don't I've told people on here that your torrefaction process is completely scientifically based. You went and talked to scientists and figured out how to do it so that you wouldn't destroy Adirondack, and you would now you're doing it with maple without destroying the maple. Right? It's unbelievable, and so we got to see one of these guitars. I asked for the smallest one first.
Okay.
And so tell me about this guitar. This, of course, is one of your OMs, and I've always said that you build the best OM body in the world. There's nothing like an OM Boucher. They don't even sound like OMs. They sound like something else. But I play mine. I mean, I've played my OMs of yours in bluegrass bands, right? Against dreadnoughts.
that was one of my goals.
Yeah.
To see a bluegrasser
Oh yeah.
play with one of
And
my OM.
it's catching on too. There's
Yeah.
I know guys who have them, who have OM bluegrass goose, right?
Yeah.
And they play them against a D28 or a 35 or like whatever, right? But look at the maple in this, and look at the book match here. The two eyes in the side, and it's torrified with your own. This is your recipe for torrefaction, and it's amazing how this differs. Like every company does this slightly differently.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's trial and error for all of us, all builders, to figure out how to get this to happen the best way. And look at that. It's just gorgeous. And the top, also torrified,
Yeah.
4+ Adirondack. The only thing I'm missing on this guitar is my B. You didn't put the B on there.
Because it comes from the studio series.
Right.
It's not a bluegrass goose.
I'm always used to having those on my guitars. But this thing, mahogany neck, all gold hardware, no pickup yet,
No pickup yet.
but you can put one in, that's for sure. And this thing, just out of the case, it hasn't been played. God knows.
I would say that
It's like a...
you are not happy when you play the guitar, like me. When I build a guitar,
Yeah.
it's, You always want more.
Oh yeah, and you keep giving it to me.
This note, and this note, and this note, and this note.
That thing is unbelievable. Like it's just not. It's out. It just came out of the case. Like these guitars are just unbelievable. Like this instrument has way more just body and tone than an OM should have, right? It's that E string. It's like a grand piano. Doesn't sound like maple. It sounds like maple, but better than maple. Like this is a guitar that could do anything, as my other one. Like I've got, what do I have? Two or three OMs of yours, and they're all. You can play any music you want on them. They'll do fingerstyle, they do flat pick, they do anything. Doesn't matter what. They're never afraid of you, right?
So you're saying that they are versatile.
Very versatile. And this is a guitar that is like that, for certain. So this is the. I have to read all this because I never have memorized all your numbers. This is Torrefied Flame Maple.
Yeah.
The GSWJ 161T.
Yeah.
It's incredible. It's just an amazing guitar.
Thank you, JB.
I don't know how you're doing it. I know you sort of explained it to us at the beginning, but it's still it amazes me that you can just.
Well, I'm doing that with the best team, one by one.
Right, it's true. It's true. You have.
Yeah.
That's the thing about it. You're not doing it. You're not trying to do it at a mass level.
No.
You're not mass
Small
producing
team.
guitars.
Yeah.
You're still building around 400 guitars a year.
Yeah.
Which is huge for the number of people you have working for you. But that's because you've got a great system in place, and every man knows what he's doing, right?
Yeah.
There's not many shops as small as yours that could put out 400 guitars a year. Like there just isn't, and it's just. Tell us, okay, now, I'm going to pick this guitar up, but you guys already saw Lancelot. So this is the torrefied version. Mine was the spalted back and sides, but this is the torrefied version of Lancelot. Look at that maple in the back of that. Now this guitar here is a certified Canon. Like this is an instrument you could put up against any dreadnought. I'm going to back up off this mic. Bottom end's so tight in it. And big. That's the maple, right? Forest in this thing. Like just one tree. unbelievable. It doesn't sound like a maple guitar. It's like a hybrid of something else. Like it's unbelievable. I like people if you like mahogany but want the warmth and projection of rosewood, this is the guitar. This has all the greatest qualities of a rosewood instrument, but it's got penetration. And it's not bright or MIDI or gross anywhere. It just pure volume, the sound pressure coming out of it. It's unbelievable. It's really loud in the room. It's unreal.
You like it?
I love it. And that's the other thing about your guitars. It plays so easy. So easy. They have the greatest necks. They play by themselves. You're never in your own way. Some guitars have great necks, but they crowd your left hand somehow. Even if it's a 1 3/4 inch nut. Your fingers feel like they don't have enough room, especially up here, to play the string all by itself and not be interfered with by the other strings around your fingertip, right?
Okay.
These guitars, they have miles, but there's no stress to get, the neck feels comfortable, but there's just room.
Yeah, we work hard
There's
to
room,
get that
right?
profile in the...
It's unbelievable and smooth as glass, satin finish mahogany. It's unbelievable. And I love this look. I wondered when you would start to bling out. I kind of hope I had something to do with that. But this selection, the whole,
Like it?
the crown, and it's unreal.
Good.
I love it. So, what would you like to say for yourself? What do you have to say for yourself, young man?
Well, I don't have a lot of things to say, you know. It's your show first.
Oh.
and
How do you feel when you see players
Well-
pick these things up and
of course, I'm proud.
yeah,
Yeah, of course. I'm proud of my team.
yeah,
I hope that people will be pleased if they buy one of our guitars,
Yeah.
of course. And that is my ultimate goal.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to see one people disappointed
yeah,
with a Boucher guitar.
yeah.
If,
And your service is run like that.
I think so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
people who have bought the guitars and they had some little malfunction, like a machine head or whatever.
Yeah,
And they
it
called
is
you,
very important.
boom, done,
Yeah.
fixed. Like,
Yeah.
don't even think about it. Of course, we're gonna fix it, right?
Yeah.
And it must be nice. Like I'm proud of you. I feel, because I've been playing your guitars for so long, and you and I are family, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I have some idea of the pride you must feel, because I get proud when I think about Jake Workman playing your guitars and this person and that and all the people that I know that play them, and it makes me proud just to see. I think about you. You're sitting over there in Quebec, working your behind off, building all these. You probably don't have a lot of time to even sit around and consider how much you mean to everybody, right? Like how much these guitars mean to everyone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's nice. That's why I'm glad you come here, because we get to tell him for an hour or so. Now, the last one. You guys all know Merlin. Well, this is the new mold torrefied maple version of it. Again, like just now. Tell me, where did this wood come from? This maple is Canadian, of course.
It's Canadian.
And it came from Quebec.
Nope. It came from one of my great friend in BC.
Really?
In the BC, yeah. David Laperouse.
Oh yes, I
Yeah.
know that name.
And it and some well, I would say 50% of those back and sides that
Yeah.
we are working with at the moment
Yeah.
comes from David Laperouse,
Wow.
Timbertone wood, and the other 50% comes from Romeo at Western Acoustic Timbers.
Wow.
Yeah,
So it is all Canadian.
yeah,
It's amazing.
yeah.
It's beautiful
It's
wood.
Canadian big leaf maple. Yeah.
Do you take a lot of time to grade the wood that's sent to you to make sure that you use it in the right guitar?
Well, making
know what I mean?
making business with those friends,
Yeah.
those guys, I don't.
They
have
don't
to-
need to.
I don't need.
That's amazing. But look at that. Look at that. She's just like Merlin, only she's torrified. And this thing is scary to death. Ho, ho. It's like a Steinway. Just not right. It's not right. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Thank you.
I just don't even know what to say. Like it's just now I had to say this. Most builders who build good guitars, right? When they're at the top of their game and they get better and they make a change and they do a build and whatever, most of the time they're leaving behind mistakes. That the guitars they built before weren't the best they could have done. So when they make that big leap, it's really they build something incredible, and you wish you had not bought the early ones. You can't say that about you. The guitars you built before this were just as awesome as these, right? But there's another edge to this altogether. There's a new. I can feel from how many I own. I can feel the change in the recipe. It's all still there the way it always was, but there's something about this. It's just not. It's different. There's more of you in these guitars. Again, pretty soon there'll be nothing left of you. If you keep doing this, you'll just be a ghost. It's true. It's the only way I can describe it. There's a million ways we could talk about it, but it's what it is. It's you're in every guitar that you build. It's just I don't even know. I give up. I gave up. Can't describe these things. You got to play one. That's all I can tell you. Man, you've just killed it again. I don't know how you're doing it, but I don't care. Just keep doing it. I don't even care at this point. I just please don't stop building guitars.
I would say to your audience, please don't stop playing guitar, man.
Yeah. As long as you're building them, we're playing them. Trust me. And I do have to take a second, and you've said it already several times, but the people that you work with are really special. They're like you, and I've been in his shop dozens of times. They're like you. Yeah. When you walk in there, hardly anybody raises their head. They're so busy with what they're doing, and if they do raise their head, a big smile, and that's it. Then they're right back. They love their jobs.
Oh yeah,
they love it. You can tell when you walk in the shop. There's no feeling of this is a workplace. It isn't. It's like a playground. Every man is in there, and they're specializing in one little detail of the guitar, and they're taking it so seriously. But yet you can sense that they love it. Mm. They're all working for one thing, right? Which ultimately is this and you. That's what it is. And so yeah, it's incredible, and we're very lucky to have Guillaume de Silva
Guillaume.
here.
Join us.
Guillaume is just incredible. You've been doing a fantastic
Oh,
job
yeah.
of this. How long you been
He
with the
does.
company now? It's been a while.
6 years and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
More than
you
6 years.
if you have questions about Boucher, this is the man that can answer the questions. And
I do my
you're
best.
doing the whole planet, aren't you? Really,
Almost.
pretty much.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I can't thank you enough for being here. I mean, it's not everybody that would even come here to spend time with my people and me and bring these, like, this is incredible. We're seeing this before anybody else is really seeing it, you know. And right before Christmas, which is good. Just in case there's one or two floating around here in December, check around your Boucher dealers. But you really can't go wrong. Every one of these guitars is built to end up in your will. That's how they're made. Well, there you go, boys. 3 Bouchers and I don't know what else to tell you. Go buy one or 6. You're gonna have to catch up with me because I got a few. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you to
Thank you.
Robin.
Thank you, JP.
Robin,
Thank you,
Maestro.
JP. Yeah,
Maestro.
JP.
You're the man. You're the man.
Well,
Guillaume, also the man. Just incredible. I can't thank you enough for being here.
being here is
the
the least that we can do for you.
My crew just loves you. So
We love
this will
you.
be a lot of fun. And keep your heads up because we will actually be reviewing close up all 3 of these guitars in the coming weeks. So hang in there. You're going to see them close up. Might even get a little commentary from. You never know. We'll see what happens. All right. We'll see you next time on Guitar Stuff with John. Visit with the Maestro.
Wow.
Oh, man.
My God.
That was awesome.
That was fun. Good
That
job.
was fun, eh?
That's a good one.